Hi, and welcome back. Welcome to my channel, Inside Beauty with the Old Girl. I'm going to share with you today some sunscreens that I use. You know, this is the time of year, well, all year we should wear sunscreen, but we must be very diligent this time of year now that spring is here. So stay tuned and I'm going to share with you my favorite sunscreen products. Well, we've all learned the importance of sunscreen and just how critical it is. And it should have been all along, but we didn't know that many years ago. So I have experimented with several different ones, and I have a couple that are my absolute favorites that I wanted to share with you. These are sunscreens for the body. Now I will reiterate, I've already talked about this in other videos, but I'll reiterate for my face, I use mineral sunscreens, and I use either the ELTA MD, the tinted sunscreen, or the DRMTLGY tinted sunscreen. I love it that they're tinted. They both have a beautiful finish, and wearing a tinted sunscreen on your face, you really don't even have to put foundation on, at least for me. I don't think you do. It's plenty for me. It just gives me enough coverage and color and moisturizer. But we're going to talk about sunscreens for the body. And I only have a couple, but they are my favorites. Now, the first one I have here is Australian Gold. It's an SPF of 30. And it is a bronzer, I believe. It's a broad spectrum 30. With instant bronzer. That's what it is. Spray gel sunscreen with instant bronzer. So I'll show you what this looks like if I can get it to show up. And of course I'm not good with swatches. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And it's got just glides on the skin so nice. It's not greasy at all. It gives you a nice sheen and just a little bit of a bronze glow. So an SPF of 30 is fine. That's adequate. Of course, if you can do 50, that's even better. But 30 is adequate. So here's that one. I hope that shows up for you. And I just love that it's not greasy, it's not thin and watery. It is like a gel form, but a soft gel, like a creamy gel, not a sticky gel at all. So that's one of them. Another one that I love, in fact I put it on my arms, my shoulders, it's the NEUTROGENA Ultra Sheer Body Mist with an SPF of 45. This stuff, it gives you such a glow. It just looks so pretty on. I'll try that one. Let me just put that on this shoulder, even though I have it on, as you can see right there. And you rub it in. It feels good. Again, it's not greasy. And it just gives you a glow at all times. So I really enjoy using this one. I used it all last summer also. Another one that I really love is this COPPERTONE Glow with an SPF of 50. Now this is like a cream. Let me shake this up. And I'm going to put that on this hand. Oh, I put too much on. But here it is. It has just a hint of a pink tint to it. Well, I'm going to have to rub that in. And it has like little sparkles in it. Not glaringly so, but just enough to stand out, that somebody may see the glistening in your skin. And I hope that shows up on my hand. But it's really, really pretty. And you really do glisten. That's the best way I can describe it. Well, let me put some over here too so that I match. but it goes on very nice. It feels wonderful. And these are all reasonable, maybe $10. Get them at the drugstore. I'll list them below, but you can get them at the drugstore, at Walmart, Amazon, places like that. So that's that. And then I have two more. Now these aren't necessarily for the body. They're for the face. They're not my go-to because they're not mineral. And one of them is this Hawaiian. This is really nice. Hawaiian Tropic Silk Hydration Oil-Free Lotion Sunscreen. Weightless for the face. SPF of 30. And this is made by DIFFERIN. And this is a moisturizing sunscreen, oil absorbing, and this is an SPF of 30. Now, I'll tell you how I use both of these. Because I use the ELTA MD and the DRMTLGY for my face, and I put it on thick. I put on over 1/4 teaspoon just on my face and ears and neck, and then I have to put additional down here. But I don't want to put that on like every 2 hours because these aren't as reasonable. I mean, they're okay. I think this is $19 and this might be $24. So throughout the day when I reapply, then instead of using these tinted mineral sunscreens, I'll use these chemical sunscreens. And this one, the DIFFERIN, it's just a white cream like this. And it just smooths in right away, non-greasy, very nice. And then the Hawaiian Tropics comes out like a yellow. It's got a little bit of, whoops. See, it's got a yellow color to it. But again, it is so weightless. I mean, it says weightless, and it is weightless. I can promise you that. And it's not greasy or too heavy. They're both very light and feel good on the skin. So the way I use these is throughout the day as I reapply on my face, I'll use these two. So, and I do that maybe every 2 to 3 hours as I'm outside. And they're easy to put on. I can tap them in, rub them in over top of my mineral sunscreen, and they just give me that added protection because I know we are to reapply every couple hours when we're outdoors, and I'm outdoors all the time, so that's what I use. Excuse me. So I know I don't have a lot or a big variety, but I know what I like and I know what works. And that's what I stick with. I don't try a lot of different things. If I find something I'm happy with, then that's okay. That's good enough for me. You know, what kind of sunscreen do you use on your body? And do you put it on every day as you're outside? I know we're all self-isolating, but we're allowed to go out in our yards or take a bike ride or something. You know, what do you use? Do you have a favorite? If you do, please leave it in the comments below and maybe I'll give it a try. So that's really all I have to show you today. I just want everybody to understand and realize the importance of sunscreen. I know we all do, and everybody talks about it, and it's usually about the face, you know, to anti-age your face or whatever words they use. I hate that word, but most people talk about the face sunscreens, and I don't hear a whole lot about the body sunscreens, but they are equally as important to wear sunscreen on your body. Cover every part that shows. And when you live in a warm climate like I do, a lot of parts show. You're in sleeveless tops, you're in shorts, you're in bare feet or flip-flops. That's a lot of skin. You want to keep that covered. So just remember that and reapply. It's so easy to reapply with this NEUTROGENA Ultra Sheer. because it's a spray and you just spray it on and that's it. You don't really even have to rub it in. It just kind of soaks in, doesn't leave you greasy. You don't have to worry about, oh no, my clothes are going to look greasy or have a mark on them. No, it does not do that. And the same with this COPPERTONE. I love to reapply this one because of the glow, the little sheer sparkles in it, because it just freshens you up if you're going somewhere, which right now we can't go anywhere, but you can always put a little more right here on your collarbones, on your neck, your shoulders, and you just get that little shimmer. So that's mine. Please leave your favorites or what you use in the comment section below. Now I'm going to give you an inside beauty tip. It doesn't have a thing to do with sunscreen at all, but it's something that I feel I should talk about because of what this whole world, this country, this world is going through right now when we're all in or self-isolating. Now, my state of South Carolina, we don't have a lockdown or anything, so I know about 41 states are in lockdown, but we are not. However, you know, we're supposed to stay in and self-isolate, and we can go outside, which I do. I'm outside a lot. But for people that are alone or can't go outside because they're not in a warm climate, the weather's not that great, it can be so lonely for so many people. Loneliness is just a very sad feeling and sad state to be in. And it just breaks my heart to think of anybody that's lonely. So I know we're all reaching out in different ways. We're texting or calling or FaceTiming, whatever you do. Keep that up. It's really good. If you have neighbors around you that live alone or maybe elderly, visit with them. I know you can't go in their home. Give them a phone call, or if the weather's nice where you're at, invite them outside. They can sit on their porch or in their driveway, and you can sit. You can be 20 feet away, 25 feet away. They can hear what you're saying. You can at least talk with them and share a little conversation. I was talking to my dear, sweet, soul sister friend Wendy from the channel My Life Wendy yesterday. We've talked on the phone a few times, and I was sharing with her that one of my sons in Richmond, Virginia, what they did in their neighborhood was all the neighbors came out on a certain day. It was like a Saturday at a certain time, let's just say 4 o'clock, and sat in their driveway in their lawn chairs. They live in a little cul-de-sac, so that little cul-de-sac, that's what the neighbors did. And then they each took turns moving around to visit and socialize with their neighbors in a safe, responsible way. So say the neighbors on the left, they would pick up their 2 lawn chairs, they would walk over to my son's house, place them in his driveway, 20 feet apart. And they could see each other, they could ask how you doing, they could have some conversation, have a little bit of normalcy in their life. And then you jump to the next neighbor, and then my son and his wife went to another neighbor's. It was just really nice, and Wendy and I were talking about it, how we can share a cup of coffee with a neighbor, or have lunch. Call your neighbor and say, let's get together for lunch. No, you can't go to a restaurant. No, you can't go in their house, and they can't go in yours. Pack a sandwich. They can pack a sandwich. Meet in your driveway or theirs. Space yourselves. They say 6 feet apart. I say 10, 12, 15, whatever you feel comfortable with. And enjoy a sandwich or lunch and a cup of coffee with a neighbor. It's just a wonderful idea. So I just wanted to share that to kind of ease some of the loneliness and isolation that I know we're all feeling. I hope this was helpful. I enjoyed spending time with you today. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, This is the old girl signing out. See ya!